I've actually been retired 2 different times in my life, like for a year to 2 years. Retired being like, I don't work at a job. I saved up enough money through investing that I was able to support myself for 8 months one time, and then 2 years the next.
Okay.
And during those times, I was trying to start my own businesses. I started them, but didn't become financially self-sufficient off of those.
Yep.
But again, I was retired, and during that time, when I was lazy and not working, and it turned into me just being like retired, wanting to hang out with people, everyone's working. And I know when like you're older and you retire and other people are retired, it's probably different. But for me, I did not like it. I did not like not having something to do every day.
Right.
So for me, I like working. I like working. I don't like 40-hour-a-week jobs where you feel like you work and when you're off you sleep or rest. I've worked in places that felt like that. It's like, oh, you go to work and then the weekend's yours, but you just want to rest. That's no fun. I'm kind of going on a tangent, but back to the house thing. Yeah, I went on my tangent. But
I don't really know how to contribute.
No, we know how each other felt.
It just goes to show that you turn on the camera and you get to talking, you might just start talking about what you want to talk about.
Both on our soapbox here.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
Why don't you like the 40-hour week? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I just feel...
Do you feel like you could ever work on a 40-hour week job?
I personally feel I could work 80 hours a week if I was like the boss of my own company and doing projects that were fun to me.
Okay.
Versus working 40 hours a week for a boss that just does not care about you and just completely devalues your work.
And quite frankly, you could give a shit about the work yourself.
Yeah, it's just like entering stuff into a computer, like stuff anyone could do, like it just whatever. But as far as like the average 40-hour-a-week job, I don't think I would like the monotony. The 140-hour, well, anyway, I don't like the monotony. I don't feel like, oh, I'm just gonna do this repetitive thing for 30 years, retire, and then live my life. Like, I personally, I've had, when I was retired for 2 years when I was starting Streamline Gaming, my website where I teach people how to make and sell their board games. During that time, I hired someone part-time. She would work 20 or so hours a week with me. I worked so much during that time, like on that project. I worked with her. I would work with her in the morning. She would get done. I would work. I'd go out with Nassus to the river. We'd swim. I would come back at night and I would work, get up and do it again. And it was that was like the fun part of my life was that work.
Right.
So I could do that like 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, because that's fun to me. I'm getting to make the decisions. I'm getting to be creative and use what I've learned versus 40 hours a week. Do this way. You can't do anything different because this is how we've done it for 20 years.
Where's that report at that I asked for?
And just like, that's
you had a bad experience with it.
Well, and just, I don't particularly like having a boss in general.
Okay.
Maybe that's just like the entrepreneurial in me or the creator in me, or I don't know what it is, but I don't like being told what to do. And not like in a rude way, like I'm, which is probably, to tie it back to the house thing, probably a reason I wouldn't want to own a house, because then I feel stuck. I feel tied to that house.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel less agile. I can't make a decision like, I want to work on this project, but I need to be in Denver for this, because that's where the whatever that, whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, apartment is what I would like.
Yeah.
Or renting. It doesn't even have to be an apartment. So maybe, actually, man, this is so cool, because discussing this, like the having a yard and maybe like a little more space to myself, maybe if I had enough money, maybe I could rent a house and then just hire people for the maintenance and all, or like or maybe, I don't know, when you rent a house, I guess sometimes the mowing's included.
Sometimes.
So maybe I could look for that, and I'd have more room for us, and then I wouldn't have to worry about
Dragging down 3 steps.
Neighbors and
yeah.
I mean, I think my ideal is like a nice apartment complex. Nice being one that has welcoming neighbors.
I'm gonna put a twist into this.
Yeah, this is fun.
What if you could get the best of both worlds?
Oh yeah, I'll come live with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what you're asking.
That too.
Okay, when is my move-in day? We're gonna move in with Uncle Justin.
Yeah. What if you could live in an apartment-like setting where there's people all around? Instead of the 3rd floor, you're on the 1st floor, right? Maybe like you have like a small little backyard with a sliding glass door or whatever. And yet, instead of just paying rent, you pay about the same amount of money, but you own that apartment.
A condo? Yeah, still probably no, because I would feel not agile.
Okay, so that's the biggest point.
I guess what
that's
we're
the
coming
biggest
to
point is what is, I mean, that's what you have to arrive on.
High ticket purchase, I guess.
High ticket purchase, nomadic. You want to be able to be nomadic. All right, let me ask you this.
That was a good question.
Yeah. How likely is it that you will move to a different city in the next 3 to 5 years? If your brothers are still here.
I definitely I love living with my little brother, which is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Been living with him since January. I love Austin. I don't, honestly, you know how your mind thinks, like, I want to live here, 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 or whatever, like you start thinking about different places to move.
I love Austin too. I actually would like to live here.
When I wasn't in Austin, I was dreaming of living in Austin. Now that I'm in Austin, I'm still dreaming of living in Austin. Though
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I do still dream of moving, like to different parts of Austin that might be more friendly and welcoming.
Ooh.
So I do.
What if you found the top 3 areas that you want to live, and you found a house that was reasonable that you could buy, and you would have almost the best of both worlds? Because you, to me, you sound like somebody that doesn't. This is just you and me talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't sound like you really want to pick up and move to Salt Lake, Utah, or Denver, Colorado, or Seattle, Washington, or Orlando, Florida. It sounds like you are going to be in the same.
Being near to my family.
So the nomadic thing, I mean, I guess what I'm hearing.
Oh, good point. Maybe it's just I like change. I don't like the monotony.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm really trying to break you down in the sense of, like, it's not that you're going to move away from Austin, Texas. It's this, I think you have an aversion of getting yourself sunken into an area where, like, you can't, if you wanted to, just move around.
I definitely, when I'm at a place for too long, I think I definitely feel too long being, for me, like maybe 10 to 14 months. Like,
okay.
Even if I'm enjoying it, I feel like
you need a change.
I need a change because, like, I think I get, like, whenever something becomes repetitive, when I feel like I did this the last 8 days, like, I need to change something up, and so
I need to eat Szechuan instead of Kung Pao.
Yeah. So that, I don't know. Like, I think it's important. I'm glad that we're talking about this. This is really, like, self-revealing and neat because I think being self-aware is really important for your career.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For your life.
Like, to dictate how you live each day. Man,
this last year, I have made so much progress in the self-awareness field. Like, I'm super happy that I've focused on that this past year, especially since February. I've really been trying to figure out who I am, like what I want in life, not just for me, but for those around me, and trying to make it happen, taking some, scary steps, changing jobs, changing the place I live, trying something.
Me too.
Maybe I won't have enough money for it to work, just different stuff. But that is kind of
living.
Yeah, that's, to me, is living. Like, oh, maybe like there's a chance there's a chance me being a pickleball and tennis coach in 2 or 3 months won't work out, in a sense that I won't have enough clients and I'll have to find a new job. Mm-hmm. That's a very possible thing.
It's a real
just
thing.
Like, and with my websites and with my personal brand, there's a very high likelihood that I keep losing money every month or every year trying to build these websites and build my brand. But to me, it's me being creative, it's me being me, and that's worth the risk. Like, for all the money I've spent more than I've gotten, and all the time I've spent into it, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of money into my creative projects. But, seeing little remnants of success from those projects have been awesome. And success for me, like, the financial success is nice, and I'm still definitely in the red. Like, I've definitely spent way more money than I've made. Mm-hmm. But, like, a little financial tip here and there is nice. Like, oh, maybe some of the hard work is paying off. But even more so for me is, like, people messaging me, and this doesn't happen a lot. Like, when I started, I was like, oh, in a couple of years, everybody will be messaging me, like, asking me questions. It doesn't happen a lot at all. But when it does happen, like, oh, your video helped me learn how to do X, Y, Z.
That's really cool.
That's what
I bet you
that makes my day.
Yeah. And that's effort on that person's part, because I bet you there's a lot more people that look at the video, like, watch it, cool. Watch it, and it helps them, but they just never make the comment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So all those comments, man, it keeps me kind of going, and like, oh, maybe it is helpful. Maybe the stuff that I'm doing is helpful and is worth my time. And I think over the next 10 years that will play out, and it will, it'll help me towards my life goal of helping 100,000 more people in a positive and significant way.
So you're saying
through my creativity and caringness and competitiveness, me being me.
Maybe you need to buy a house with a pickleball acreage.
No.
No.
Okay, I will tell you this. I have thought about, if I had the money, buying a facility that had basketball, tennis, pickleball.
I love it. I would want to. Oh.
And I just coach Calvin. I coach, like, whatever I want to coach, I coach there.
Put this on record, December 30th. Justen will be an investor in that. 100%.
Thanks.
100%.
I don't usually.
I've always wanted to own a facility too and give
so
back.
cool.
It's like a rec center.
I don't usually brag about myself. I'm usually pretty modest, but I think I would say I'm a very good coach. I think that's one of my. My
you don't even have to. Coach Callie is a good coach. I know that.
That's based on the feedback I get from students, the return rate of students.
You're just a really good listener too, and you're careful with people's
personalities.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, shut up. Anyway.
Listener.
Yeah.
Sorry. I get panicky when someone compliments me. I gotta work on that. Go ahead. Try it again.
What I was saying before I got rudely interrupted. No, I mean, like, you just care. Like, you take the time. You're a good analyzer of a situation, in my opinion. Like, you're probably more on the end of listen, observe, and then figure out what to do with somebody versus just
here's how
asserting.
Yeah. I will tell you this. I genuinely care.
No.
I really do, especially when students, and when I'm working with someone, coaching them or helping them, or just talking to someone, really, if they're into it, like those students I have that want to be there, they want to learn tennis, they want to learn pickleball, they want to learn basketball, whatever the sport is that I'm coaching at the time. When they want to be there, that's like my oxygen. I love being in that moment,
dude,
helping them.
What about, like, creating? Sorry, this is probably like weird for the camera angle and everything like that. But have you ever thought about creating like a facility that runs camps?
That would be cool.
Like, I know we're way off the house topic, but
we'll get back to it.
think about like
the answer for me is I want to rent.
Yeah. But we also broke down why Calvin wants to.
And
rent.
I think that was
So,
important,
yeah.
and that was again self-awareness. I think that's huge. So thanks for helping me with that.
Likewise, I'll finish off my answer here soon. But a facility that reinvents kind of the ways in which kids are reached, and that sounds really bad.
No, I've brainstormed these things like what kind of
summer camps where kids are out of school, like what are they doing? You know what I mean? To kind of keep them out of trouble. I went to a camp called Kids Express. It was awesome. Cost my parents probably on an arm and a leg to put me in there, but they wanted me to go on field trips, right? They wanted me to stay active in the summer and be challenged, and then have some areas where I can play basketball inside a court or go to the cafeteria to get some food, whatever, right? But I was active, and I want the same for Jules, but I also want like to help a community kind of thing.